Once upon a time, near the edge of a deep green forest, there lived a cheerful little girl who always wore a bright red cape with a hood. Everyone in the village called her Little Red Riding Hood. She loved her red cape. It swirled behind her when she skipped, fluttered in the breeze, and made her feel brave and special. One sunny morning, her mother called her into the kitchen. "Little Red Riding Hood," she said gently, placing fresh cakes and fruit into a basket. "Your grandma is not feeling well. Please take this basket to her cottage in the woods." Little Red Riding Hood nodded happily. "I will, Mother." But before she left, her mother added firmly, "Stay on the path. Do not stop to play. And most importantly, do not talk to strangers, especially wolves." Little Red Riding Hood promised. "I'll be careful." And off she went, skipping down the winding forest path. The forest was tall and shady. Sunlight danced through the leaves. Birds chirped. Butterflies fluttered. But behind the trees, yellow eyes were watching. Suddenly, "Hello there," growled a deep voice. Little Red Riding Hood turned and saw a big gray wolf stepping out from behind a tree. His sharp teeth showed when he smiled. "Where are you going, little girl?" he asked smoothly. "I'm taking cakes and fruit to my grandma," she answered innocently. "She lives in a cottage at the end of the forest." The wolf's eyes gleamed. "How sweet of you! But why hurry? Look at these beautiful flowers. Why not pick some for your grandma?" The flowers were bright and colorful. "That's a wonderful idea," she said. And while she happily wandered off the path to pick flowers, the wolf ran as fast as lightning toward Grandma's house. The wolf reached the cottage first. Knock, knock, knock. "Who is it?" called Grandma from inside. "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood," the wolf said in a soft voice. Grandma paused. "That doesn't sound like my granddaughter." Realizing something was wrong, she quickly hid inside the wardrobe. The wolf burst into the cottage, but Grandma was nowhere to be seen. He grinned wickedly. "Well then," he said, spotting Grandma's nightgown and bed cap. Soon he was dressed in her clothes and tucked under the covers, pretending to be Grandma. After picking many flowers, Little Red Riding Hood skipped up to the cottage. She knocked gently. "Grandma, it's me." "Come in, dear," growled the wolf, in his sweetest voice. Little Red Riding Hood stepped inside. The room felt strange. "Grandma, you look odd," she said slowly. She walked closer to the bed. "What big ears you have." "All the better to hear you with, my dear," replied the wolf. "What big eyes you have." "All the better to see you with." "And what big teeth you have." The wolf threw off the blanket and roared, "All the better to eat you with." And he leapt out of bed. Little Red Riding Hood screamed loudly and ran toward the door. The wolf chased her around the room. Suddenly, bang, bang, bang! The door burst open. A strong woodcutter stood there, holding his axe. He had heard the scream from outside. He raised his axe bravely. The wolf froze. With a frightened howl, he dashed past the woodcutter, out of the cottage, and deep into the forest, never to return. Tap! A strange knocking sound came from the bedroom. Little Red Riding Hood and the woodcutter opened the wardrobe door. Out tumbled Grandma, safe and sound. They all hugged each other tightly, a happy celebration. Grandma laughed warmly. "This is a cause for celebration." She put the kettle on, laid the table, and soon they were all sitting together, enjoying tea and delicious cakes. "Yummy," said Little Red Riding Hood with a smile. From that day on, Little Red Riding Hood never spoke to strangers again. She always listened carefully to her mother. And the wolf? He stayed far away from little girls, especially those wearing red capes. And they all lived happily ever after.